Major supermarket chains will be put under the microscope to make sure they aren't ripping off consumers at the checkout. The federal government has announced former Cabinet Minister Craig Emerson will lead the review of the Food and Grocery Code of Conduct. Joining me live is Mal Peters. He is a cattle farmer in the New England region and former president of the New South Wales Farmers Association. Mal, thanks so much for joining us. Look, I just want to give you a couple of examples here as we kick off. There's a melon farmer in North Queensland, Sean Jackson, who says it costs $14 a box to grow melons, but supermarkets were only willing to pay him $12 to $14 a box. So now he exports most of his produce overseas where he gets a better deal. Another pumpkin farmer, Trevor Cross, also in Queensland, says pumpkins in the supermarket cost $20, but he couldn't get $1.50 for growing it, and he's borrowing from the bank to survive. What's your reaction to those couple of examples that have shown up in the media recently?
Good morning, Kenny. Look, there's no surprises in any of that. I well remember my days as president of the farmers looking after the horticultural industry. The two big supermarket chains flog the farmers unmercifully. And there's some pretty horrendous stories you hear about, blokes delivering their produce and then being rejected because it was, slightly discoloured or whatever. So there's some horrible things going on that makes it nearly impossible for farmers to be able to supply them.
And as a cattle farmer, is it getting harder to get a good deal out of the supermarkets?
Oh, it's absolutely abysmal at the moment. I sold fat cows the other day. Now, they weren't skinny ones. They were big fat ones that come out of a feedlot. I got $1.06. Now I haven't sold cattle for 30 years for $1.06. And you can imagine what's happened to fuel and all the rest of my costs in that period of time. And the poor old consumer who walks into Woolworths to buy to buy mince, for instance, I mean, they're paying $20. Where's the margin between the $1.06 that I'm getting and the 20 odd bucks that the poor old consumer is paying in the supermarket?
And the cost of farming is only increasing, isn't it? I mean, is it becoming viable anymore?
Well, it's certainly not at the moment. And I mean, we had a bit of a double banger this year because we had Bureau of Meteorology were out there saying global warming, we're going to have an El Nino, the sky's going to fall in, that'll be the end of the world. So farmers got really worried because in 2018, 2019, we went through a really bad run. We thought, hello, it's on again. So farmers were unloading stock like you wouldn't believe. And would you believe that now we've got blokes in flood everywhere and there's grass everywhere, so you really can't take much notice of bomb. So you add up that, plus the cost of fuel, plus the cost of fertiliser. I mean, everything's 3 and 4 and 5 times more. It's getting pretty tight. I mean, most farmers last year, 2023, apart from the grain blokes, would have ended up losing quite a bit of money.
Are you confident this review into the Code of Conduct over supermarkets, which is, I have to point out, voluntary at this stage, is going to make a difference?
Voluntary codes are generally ignored. You've got to remember that both Coles and Woolworths are massive organisations. I mean, Woolworths last year, 2023, as I recall, booked about $1.72 billion, that's B for Bob, billion, in profit, which was up from $1.62 billion before. So, I mean, I was in the lobby game in Sydney and Canberra. I know the influence that those big companies put on governments. So my big concern is that a voluntary code on the supermarket industry will be next door to a bloody waste of time. You need to have compulsory codes that they have to adhere to.
Okay. Well, Mal Peters, it's really great to chat with you and get your insights. A farmer that is actually dealing with this. Hopefully we'll chat to you soon, maybe after we get a result from this review.
Mate, I'd look forward to it. Thank you.
Mal, thank you.